prompted the response?
Just after 10 o'clock, we had Salt Lake City 911 relay information that they had received reports of a possible active shooter here at West High. Obviously, that's an extremely concerning situation for us, and so we had our officers respond, in a pretty heavy response. Once they arrived, they were able to confirm that this is unfounded, and we are investigating the situation to find out what the details were that led to this.
The response, you said pretty sizable. Can you describe what that looked like, I guess?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because it puts our community at danger. Our officers treat every situation as if it's a real live incident, and so when we receive these reports, we treat it that way, and we have several officers coming from all different directions. I'm sure everybody's seen, as police officers go through intersections and stuff with their lights and sirens, it can be dangerous. And so it's concerning for us that, when these situations arise, when we have reports, that are unfounded, that, we want to make sure our community is safe. And so we do treat them as if they're real every time. And that's what we did here. We train regularly to make sure, that we can respond in a safe manner, but we also treat these real. So
students are on spring break in Salt Lake City, correct?
That is correct. But, even though it's spring break, we still have to treat it real. There's a possibility there could be students in the school. So we respond as if this is a real situation.
We're hearing about threats at various high schools across Utah. Do you know anything about those, even if it's just, hey, we've heard that too?
Yeah, I don't have any details on it. There are people saying that. I've heard people have said that, but I can't confirm anything to say that there's other situations that are going on. But we can tell you that this was real and we treated it real, and we want to make sure the community knows that we're prepared to help them if these situations do arise.
In a tweet I saw, they said, this isn't a prank, basically. Can you explain that? This basically does result in a dangerous situation when someone does this.
Exactly. Anytime that someone reports a crime, we treat it as if it's real. And when we do have a heavy police response, we train to make sure everybody's safe, but there is an increased risk of, traffic accidents and different things. And so we treat it real, and it does increase the danger. But this is something that we take seriously, and we're working with our partners, including the FBI, to look in the situation and find out what occurred here today.
Do you know what time the threat came in?
It was just after 10 o'clock. I don't know the specifics, but around 10 o'clock.
And it was someone calling 911?
SLC 911 is who received the information.
And just to reiterate, what did they say?
I don't have those specific details other than it was relayed that there was an active shooter here at the school.
Is this the only school threat that Salt Lake City police have dealt with today?
I don't have the specifics on that. I don't know for sure. As far as I'm aware, this is one that we know that we did respond to.
Obviously, we know what happened yesterday in Tennessee. I mean, does that kind of put you guys on high alert after something like that happens with all the schools and stuff like that?
We're always prepared. This is something that we train every day for. This is one of our top priorities for our community. We want to make sure the community is safe, especially when it involves children. It's something that we are constantly training for. So this is something that we treat seriously, and we will continue to do so. We want to make sure our community is safe.
Do you know how many law enforcement personnel did respond initially?
It was a large response. I don't have the exact numbers, but as you can imagine, anybody who's an officer in the city, that's what they're going to go to. They're concerned to making sure that people are safe.
We could see people kind of coming in and out of the building. Did you have to evacuate a small number of people that were maybe inside?
I don't have the details. I can imagine that as we're going through and making sure that this situation is safe, that there was probably people who had to leave, but I don't know specific details on how many people had to leave.
Are we missing anything? Is there anything else that you want to say or?
No, the only thing I could just reiterate is that we train every day to make sure that our community is safe, and it's a top priority for us here at Salt Lake.